もし私たちが普段何気なく行っている営みのすべてが何一つ消え去ることなく宇宙の虚空のいずこかに記憶され時空を超えて未来の世代に伝えられてゆくとするなら、私たちは今自分が選んでいるこの道をこれからもそのまま歩み続けるでしょうか。
This piano used to belong to Bartók and to his wife. It's a wonderful piano, it's beautifully kept, because somehow the spirit of Bartók is in the instrument.
Now a world-renowned philosopher and scientist, in his youth, Dr. Ervin Laszlo was a brilliant pianist. At the age of 5, his first recital. At 7, he was admitted to the Franz Liszt Academy. At 9, he performed with the Budapest Philharmonic. At 15, Laszlo was awarded the Grand Prix at the Geneva International Music Competition. On his first trip to the United States, he caused a great stir as a child prodigy. In his late 20s, while still performing, Laszlo studied physics and philosophy at Columbia University. He later received a doctorate for his thesis on systems philosophy. A major turning point in the life of this popular pianist came in 1961, following a concert he gave at The Hague in Holland.
They changed in my life, of my vocation, really. It came about through a series of accidental events. After I finished playing a recital, and the gentleman next to me started talking about philosophical questions, issues of how we understand society, what is the relation of society to nature, what about the future, and so on. And of course, by this time, for several years, I have been always traveling with my notebook. I wrote by hand. I wrote down my thoughts. And I did it for myself. And he asked me if I made some notes, and I said yes. And I gave it to him. Then I started talking with other people, and the next time I looked around, he was not there anymore, you know. And I didn't know who he was, this gentleman. So next morning, by breakfast, almost at the same table as we were sitting the night before, this gentleman showed up with his notes under his arm, and he said, "I'm an editor of a publishing house, and I read it, and this publishing house would like to publish it."
The book, Essential Society, was well received, and he was invited to lecture at universities and research facilities around the world. Dr. Laszlo ended his career as a concert pianist at the age of 33, setting out on a new path as a researcher and teacher at Yale University. Dr. Laszlo gained fame for exploring new territory. He focused on the evolution of our minds and spirits, and on the existence of invisible forces that connect the natural world. With a deep understanding of science, he published one novel theory after another. In the 1970s, he contributed to the Club of Rome report. In the 80s, Dr. Laszlo devoted his energies to world peace and economic development as a director at the UN Institute for Training and Research. In 1993, Dr. Laszlo founded the Club of Budapest, made up of leading intellectuals from around the world. The club has more than 50 honorary members, artists, scientists, and religious leaders, including 7 recipients of the Nobel Peace Prize.
Jó, köszönöm szépen. Viszonthallásra. So we have here going from below is Sir Arthur Clarke, who wrote the 2002 Space Odyssey, and he is of course supporting, and he has written a preface also to our report.
During his tenure at the United Nations, Dr. Laszlo resolved to establish this club. Meeting with politicians and ambassadors, he came to feel deeply that to overcome the crises we are now facing, the spirits of individuals must be enlightened. He called upon artists, scientists, and religious leaders with their rich sensitivity and powers of persuasion.
For many years he lived here. We have several former presidents, like Gorbachev, like Václav Havel. Of course, everybody knows the Dalai Lama. Together with him, we have written the Manifesto on Planetary Consciousness. The key to our future is the recognition by individuals that they have the power to change. By changing themselves, they can change the world.